Chad, grab this.
Oh, I don't know if I like up here.
So you can't yell from the back up front.
Your dad.
Just say you can't yell from the back from over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lower it down for the
You sold
shorty.
receipt next, so now you have to yell out random things to people.
Yeah, you do.
You.
Well, I'm good.
Yeah.
You gotta heckle from the back now.
All right. Hello, everyone, and thank you once again for coming to the Human Narrative here at Rad Inc., Florida, presented to you by Rad Inc., the Rad Movement, Rad Paranormal, Silver Slate Visuals, who is not here this evening.
Hence the video.
Yeah. Our videos are usually way better quality. Tonight they're not going to be. Sorry, YouTube. And thank you for the internet, to the internet for tuning in. For those who haven't been to a Human Narrative before, it's a very simple concept. Chad says to me, "Hey, I need to do this thing. We got to talk about it in person." I'm like, "I don't want to do that." And he's like, "Fine, let's talk about it in person." So we do that. And then he's like, "Hey, man, let's do this thing where we have people talk about a topic." And then we're like, "Okay, cool." So we did that, and then it turned into this cool thing. The first time we did it, somebody who was in the back of the room at the end was like, "Hey, I kind of want to share something." So then we're like, "Fuck, all right, now we need to open the floor to other people to speak." So now we have a collection of regular speakers that just continues to grow. And once we go through those regular speakers every night, once a month, then we open the floor to others who have something to say or might feel a need to share. It's been said that it's somewhere between church and an NA meeting. I'll take it. But you know, the cool thing is there's no, I say structure, because like there's no like belief system that we're following. There's no conceptual idea everyone needs to be a part of. It's just come share about our topic and maybe connect with the people around you, or if you're not ready for that, just be around some people that probably think similarly, or maybe don't, and it'll give you some perspective. But the Human Narrative is this cool thing where we just talk about one topic. And one of my favorite things about it is it always seems like we just end up all kind of telling the same stories over and over again in different ways. But it always is interesting, it's always relatable, and it's always fresh and new, even though it's like every topic always just kind of comes back around to these core things of just like how to live our lives as best we can. So, yeah, that's what the Human Narrative is. If you've not been here before, I still don't have a perfect explanation of what we do here.
What do we say? It was healing through shared experiences and stories.
Healing through shared experiences and stories.
Are we doing affirmation cards again?
Yes.
Okay.
We have 14 left. So
Okay. So one of the cool things that Donna did one time was she got a bunch of affirmation cards. It's the Badass Affirmations cards, and that's really cool name because it kind of fits, the whole way we do things here. And it was really fun. So we had everyone that spoke just come up and just kind of grab one, read their card, and it was really cool how spot on all these were. And I know with like Oracle decks and Tarot decks, it said that like you're supposed to sage them and all that to like connect with the deck. That motherfucker was just on fire with no connection, no cleansing, no nothing. I thought it was really cool. But that's kind of part of the whole not really having one way. Like Abel always talks about wanting to be a pastor. Actually Scott and Becky, actually they run, what is it called? What kind of church? No, I know it's called People's Diversity. Multi-faith, that's what it is. So multi-faith church where it's like, you guys have all kinds of different, religions and spiritualists speaking. So we have a lot of different people in this room all the time. And that's why I love the perspectives, how they change so deeply. So yeah, I'm going to stop babbling right now. And we're going to go straight up into what we always do. and bring Chad on. But first, our Patreon, the Human Narrative Patreon. We've been actively populating that shit for all of y'all. So go check it out, the Human Narrative on Patreon. And yeah, so Chad, he's the guy that helped me make this thing. He's the one that came to me and said we have to do this. And I'm eternally grateful because like 79% of the crowd tonight is like people that came through you. So I think that's really cool. Another cool thing is you're doing a human narrative type group at Cora's school.
You're stealing from my story.
Shit, that's fine. You can still expand on it. Man, I'm super proud of the things you're doing, and you continue to motivate me to continue to do cool things like this. So thank you. I'm grateful for you. I love you, Mr. Chad Talley, ladies and gentlemen.
So I'll pick up one of these cards. Feel the feeling, but don't become the emotion. Witness it, allow it, and release it. So I mean that kind of goes along with the video we just did. Patreon. You've seen clips here and there. I've posted them on my Facebook, on our TikTok, our Human Narrative page.
One of them went on my Instagram.
Yeah.
Too, yeah. So there's a couple of places.
Anyway, so gratitude. First, I want to say I am grateful for Prozac. I would not be where I am mentally without Prozac. That and ERP and the IOCDF. ERP being Exposure with Response Prevention, the IOCDF being the International OCD Foundation. I always give them props for helping me to get to where I am. The second thing I'm grateful for is this event and everybody that came out. Because the very first one that we ever did was a fucking train wreck.
It was a shit show.
We had a food truck that was supposed to show up. They canceled it at the last minute.
It wasn't that bad.
Well,
For
no.
us it
For
was.
me and him, we're in the
Yeah, we're like, let's just
we're
burn
in the
this
back
building
freaking
down.
out, and Donna was just like, okay, that's good. But no, yeah. And then
How
our
we're gonna feed the people.
we had a microphone that didn't work.
They had no guts in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
My dumb ass put it on, had it put into Florida Today, and the one person that showed up from Florida Today heckled and was drunk. I was giving shit to Zen. And then at the end of it, Robbie's like, I don't want to do this again. And then a month later, I'm like, we should do that again. He's like, okay. And you'd be surprised how many times that happens, where he's like, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm like, let's do it again. And he's like, okay.
I didn't do it this time, did I?
No, this time you were fine.
That's literally my life with Robbie.
Yeah.
It's a much lighter topic this time too, because the last time was triggers, and it was super hard hitting. Like we had two speakers that I talked in the video that we posted on Patreon, where I have a problem crying. It's kind of a trigger for me, but I'm not gonna give that away. Go to Patreon. But yeah, so I mean, two people almost had me in tears. And they're two people that I really want to give a shout out to because I'm very grateful for to be able to watch their journey through speaking. Kiki, who's probably watching now, she started just talking about surface level stuff, and she's delved into a lot of her trauma, and she's opened up and just willingly bared her soul and become an advocate for the stuff that she's went through. And I am super proud of her for that. And Meg, who is also not here, for doing the same thing. She may or may not be watching. I don't know.
She usually does when Zach's here, but
Yeah, but I'm
she
not,
might be playing nurse because he's sick
Yeah.
as fuck.
But she's only spoken twice. The first time was just some surface level stuff.
Yeah.
The second time she got up here, she just opened everything up and the floodgates poured out.
Yeah.
But I'm super grateful for everything that we've been able to do with this event. I've met so many people from here who are now in what I'll call my tribe. And watching you guys, your journey through storytelling and public speaking. I got an email from Cora's school about clubs, and they were saying, oh, if you can help with one of these clubs, or if you want to sponsor a club in the spring. I was like, I don't want to do any of those, but I pitched a human narrative style club. I was like, how about we do something with the kids where like, we'll pick a more child appropriate topic, and they can write theirs down because they're not going to be ready to public speak right off the gate. And maybe at the end of the club, we do a thing for the parents and have them come out and let the kids talk. And they liked that, and I got to finish putting together my list for stuff that I need, but we'll be doing a human narrative style club in the spring. And it's called
That's so cool.
called Storyteller's Circle.
That's dope.
But the big thing that I want to talk about tonight is family, both blood and chosen. I am super grateful for all of you that are here. But the guy right there, Patrick, if you listen to any of his music, can pick up an instrument and play it like nothing. But they're here for me whenever I need it. I've had Riley come work on my car. Michaela back there, she's may as well be a sister now. The first time I met Michaela, I was like, that's like Riley's soulmate right there. That's his other half. It's perfect. And every family gathering afterwards, that's only solidified. Like she's a tally. She may as well be. This is my dad. Anything that I need, he'll come out and help me. Like I was hanging up my permanent Christmas lights the other night, and he's definitely allergic to wasps. But I'm like, hey, I got a wasp issue. Can you bring me some wasp spray? He's like, yeah, as long as you spray them, I'll bring it to you. So he came out, helped me kill the wasps, and then he actually helped me hold the ladder so I can get all these up without falling because I almost fell twice. Permanent lights, I recommend those. Those things are awesome.
Yeah.
I feel so old because
Dude,
I was so happy that I finally got these permanent lights. I
got
was
a
so
neighbor.
excited.
I'm so jealous of my neighbor that has them. I'm like, I want those.
Like, I felt so old. And obviously my wife, very grateful for her. She's helped me tremendously through my mental health journey. She's gone to support groups with me. She's been there through everything. And Abel back there, love that kid. Like instantly I clicked with Abel. I can't see him because I see a light. But I came here the other day because it was Cora's birthday. If I'm going to grab her real quick too. And because she wanted a hug from Abel on her birthday. So I texted Abel, I was like, hey, you're at the shop because Cora wants a birthday hug from Abel. He's like, yeah. I didn't think anything of it. I thought we were going to come here, she's going to get her hug and we were going to leave. They came here, she got her hug, and he had a card and flowers and a balloon for her already. It was I'm super grateful for that. It helped make her day. And she's going to come here a little bit, and I'll talk about me being grateful for her. And I miss Josh, who's like right there. Grateful for Josh as well. He's a lot of fun. If you ever played AZ, you'll be super grateful for Josh. And here's Cora. I am beyond grateful for Cora. She is my partner in crime. She makes the everyday fun. You can't imagine how much fun I have with this kid. Like Megan will be in the car with me and Cora, and me and me and Cora will be going back and forth like, and then Megan will eventually be like, shut up. Because we just go back and forth. She's so much fun. And just watching her grow, like 10 years flew by, man. I blinked. She went the Facebook memories popped up, and I have her as a newborn, and then now I have her as pretty much as tall as me. Now she has her own little bracelet business. She has 4 bracelets. If anybody wants to buy 4 bracelets, they're $5. What do you call your business? Cora's Corner.
Cora's Corner.
There you go. You can find her on Facebook. So if we can get that lit, we have a little surprise for Cora. Are you having some problems?
I'm good now. If you want.
I'm good now.
Oh, is that?
Yeah, that's your cue to do it.
That's my cue.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was her birthday yesterday. She's in double digits now.
Yeah.
So I was gonna see if we can get a round of a happy birthday song for Cora here while we bring this cake up. So.
All right.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Cora. Happy birthday to you. She's gonna come out here and talk later. You give her time to build up to it. Same with Amelia. You guys probably gotta plan out your talks, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But that's about all I got. I'm grateful for every one of you. I love hearing you talk every single time. And we talked a little bit about it during the video, but you have helped me so much in my journey to becoming an emotional human being. Before I was very closed off. I put up walls and walls, but those have slowly come down. And I've because of this event and because of you, I've been able to tell people, that I love them, and then hug people and just emote more. And that's about all. I'm grateful for the RAD movement and all that we're going to do with that.
Heck yeah.
Thank you, Chad. I'm glad it started off light. It can get pretty dark in the room. But yeah, man, I'm super grateful for you. The way you push me and motivate me to do things like this. I'm super proud of you, dude. Like, just watching you push and push and push, and like, man, you're just a killer, dog. So I love you. I'm grateful for you. Another person I'm grateful for is our next speaker. We met one time walking down the street in downtown Melbourne. He screamed my name. And I was like, I don't know, have we met before? Because you seem really, really confident and we know each other. And then, over a year later, he started coming to the Human Narrative with you guys, Chad and Megan. And now, he is a full-time tattooer at Rad Inc. And I'm just really honored for that because he owned his own studio. And I love private studio. It's so nice. It's just me and the client. And, you just get to go and run away from the world and create art together. But he closed something magical like that to come and be here in this with us. I love that he is another intentional intuitive healer in the tattoo space. I've never really shared space with a tattooer like that before. I always felt really weird and alien for being, the weird, intuitive healer, hippie, weirdo tattooer guy. I've never been normal though, so that should be normal for me. So Abel, Mr. Abel Buskirk, I love you, I appreciate you, and thank you for letting me bully you into speaking tonight.
Amen.
Gay man. Abel Buskirk.
Hi, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving. I still got my food belly. I'm just going to try and use that for an excuse for every day the rest of the year. All right, so gratitude. It's a good one. So when I heard gratitude, I don't do pottery, but it made me think of pottery. It did. And in the funniest way, because when we are young and we think about gratitude, it's very simple, very basic, Thankful for this, thankful for that. Okay, thankful for the hug, thankful for the snack. And then as I got older, I was just thankful to live another day. And so my wheel is getting bigger and bigger. And I'm gonna try and make it like Ghost, and I have what's his name, Patrick Swayze behind me, helping me guide it. But just thinking about how different life has its twists and turns, I feel that's how gratitude does too. Let's see. And the older we get, I feel like it's kind of funny because it gets a little bit back to the basics, right? I'm thankful for breathing. I'm thankful for living. I'm thankful for being here. Thankful for having so many people that I love and people that love me. And it's just like a full circle thing. And just a miracle. Every day is just such a miracle, and I never would have thought to just even be here today. If you would have asked me 7 years ago, absolutely not. I reached my 7 years sober a couple days ago, and I'm really thankful for that. Thank you. Thank you for the grace of God, I'll tell you. And so it's just remarkable to see the little things that make our whole journey grow, our pottery grow, and like, what is that made up for you? What like details in your pottery wheel? Are you building a glass? Are you building a cup? How much of your cup are you gonna pour? You know what I mean? Like, is it gonna pour from one end or the other? And I don't know. I'm just visual, and I'm on like a mental like receiving information right now, but it's just really cool to think about. And I don't know. I want everybody to think about that for a little bit. How did your gratitude manifest through your life? What turns did it take? Did it get knocked down a couple times? Did you have to break it up and start all over again and throw some water on it and more mud and until you built something beautiful? Well, I say, hell yeah, it's beautiful. 'Cause you guys are all here. We're all doing this shit together, you know? So, I love you guys. Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving. And hell yeah, let's go.
I love the way you began that. I don't even do pottery. But no, we fail a lot. And that's kind of the thing. I think the quote was, fail early, fail often, fail forward.
Did he get a card?
No.
Pick a card.
Come pick a card.
Stops next, right? Pretty sure it's on my phone.
I think so. Yeah.
I feel like the lady from Wheel of Fortune.
Vanilla.
Ding, ding. I will let go of the shit that doesn't serve me.
We may or may not have been experiencing that lately. The next person that is going to speak is another human that I am extraordinarily grateful for. We solve all the world's problems every Monday that we can when we get together at the Cracker Barrel. And we cry and we laugh and we talk, and sometimes we have a really feral child with us. And so, you know, I just wonder what the people think when they see us with Zen.
You guys are dads going through a divorce.
Right? But you know, I met Scott through the Way Through workshop, which is a really powerful emotional healing release method. It's wild, wacky, woo-woo fucking shit, dog. So if you're down to heal like weirdos do, party. We have business cards out on the little table for the Way Through workshop. So it is local here in town. Just did one in Colorado though, so shit might be coming to a place near you, internet world. But yeah, so I met Scott through this workshop, and I remember at the end of the workshop, I was like, hey man, do you do like one-on-one meetings with folks to like coach them and like, you know, grow as humans and shit? He's like, how about we just hang out and meet up and stuff, and let's just do that. And that was really cool because I immediately put him in a position of teacher, and he immediately put me in a position of equal. So that's really fucking cool. I look up to you, I respect you, and I am super grateful for you. You have really fucking helped me figure out some shit lately. It was so cool the other day when we talked and you were like yelling at me that like when I tell people about the conversation we had, I was like, you know, when someone that like really like looks out for you and cares for you, and then they start like raising their voice at you because like you need to hear that like you're not bad or you're doing this thing right and all. Yeah, he did that to me the other day. So that's really fucking cool, and I'm way more grateful than you realize, especially through some of the shit that you've been helping me through. So now y'all get to hear this man's words, Mr. Scott Donnet, the Foot Guy. Oh, card.
Card. Card.
Need help with tiny words?
No. I was just like, why did I have to get a card? I was already fucking doing this. Inhale courage, exhale fear. Keep your shit together. Microphone. Did y'all hear my card?
No.
Inhale courage, exhale fear. Keep your shit together. So, gratitude. Thanksgiving, the holidays, it always brings up gratitude, right? So the thing that I am most grateful for in my life is that I'm a drunk. And that my mom was a drunk, and that her parents were drunks, and that we're relatively fucked up family. Now that's going to sound a little bit weird, but for those of you who are already weird, you're like, yeah, I know what you're talking about. It was because I was a drunk that I went to AA. And then because I went to AA, I went to therapy. And then because of therapy, I went to my first workshop. And when I went to my first workshop, then I went to my first men's gathering. And then after my first men's gathering, I started doing men's groups. And all of the shit that is in my life right now is a result of that one thing, being a drunk. Right? So then there's moments within the journey that I'm super grateful for. So in the last day or two, it was my late wife's birthday. I am so grateful that I married that woman and that we had the time that we had together, right? Now, my late wife, Catherine, was loco. Very, very traumatized, hurt human being, and probably one of the most powerful healers I've ever known in my life. And I learned more being in relationship with that human being than I learned everywhere else in life. I learned about dissociating. I learned about pain. I learned about trauma. I learned about never giving up. I learned about surviving. I learned about what the human psyche is capable of, even under the worst conditions. It helped me be fearless when fighting demons. And by demons, I don't mean Hollywood shit, I mean real ones like fear and rage and anger and abuse and trauma and guilt and shame and all those other demons, right? Losing my mentor, the man who taught me the workshop that Robbie alluded to, that where we met. When he left, it was my daddy replacement had finally gone too, and I really had to fully step into my man, right? That part of me that I didn't want to, because I was still a little bit afraid of him. I was still a little afraid of what he would do, what he could do. because I knew what my dad had done, and he tried not to, and he did it anyway. So it's like I was afraid that I was going to do that too. And when I finally fully stepped into that man, I wasn't that man that I was afraid of. There was shit to be afraid of, but it wasn't the stuff I was afraid of. And that became so much easier, right? And really being able to feel something that is incongruent, feel something that is out of place, and stop myself and know that that's not something for you to do or for you to do or for you to do. That's something for me to do, right? That it's always an inside job, that I'm always going to have that opportunity to look in, see different, and change how I show up in the world. And back to that original statement of, I'm so glad that I'm a drunk, right? I'm glad that my mom was a drunk. Now, that's not to say that the abuse that my mom perpetrated on myself, my brother, and my sister was okay. It's not to say that the abuse that I perpetrated on other people, violence, anger, rage, all over people, it's not okay. And I'm not suggesting that I am grateful that I was an asshole to people. Because I'm not. I don't want to be an asshole to people. I didn't want to then. Even when I was doing it, I didn't want to do it. But I did. And I'm one of their demons. And they're going to get to work on that shit too. And God bless them. I'll be right here sitting saying, yep, I did that to you. Yep, I was there, and that's what happened. You're exactly right. You're not making that shit up. But I don't have to be afraid of that anymore, right? Because that's just part of who I was and how I got here. And the things that I'm doing now and the things that we're doing in our life and with our life matter and make a difference. And if all that shit didn't happen, then this wouldn't be happening. So, in a sick, upside down, backwards way, I'm grateful for all of it. All the shit I did, all the shit that was done to me, all the fucked up stuff that just doesn't belong in local sentence, right? But here we are, and the only reason we got here is because we were willing to talk about those things that you don't talk about. Share about those things you don't share about. Tell on yourself about the things that you have shame with. And from there we find freedom, right? So I think that's it, my brother. I love you. Thank you all.
See why I love him? And so that leads us to the real boss of the household. I met Becky the same weekend, and she's scary. You're like such a stoic little lady, man. Like,
You're so.
and Scott's all like big and mushy and shit, and she's just like little and stoic. But your love is big, and through that weekend, I got to experience your love, and since that weekend, I've got to continue to experience your love. I love when you speak. Because, like, I know you fucking mean it, because you don't just waste time saying words. So it's always fun when you chime in on something, because I'm like, oh, all right. She's interested enough to say something here. Let's see what she got to say, because you're a brilliant motherfucker. And then on top of that, we're on the Kennedy Space Center bus tour, and she's on the fucking TV talking about like animal conservation and shit. I didn't know she worked for NASA. Like, she worked for the government. Like, holy shit. At least that's how I look at it. Yeah. But yeah, Uh, Becky Bolt, everyone.
I'm glad you didn't call him Mrs. Foote.
Never with the Mrs. Foot guy. And make sure you take Foot guy's card back home because he left it.
Is this his right here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
The warrior within me has already won.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
Boom.
Boom.
So I've been thinking and thinking about what am I going to talk about. And I don't like to think about it too much because then it comes off sounding rehearsed and everything. But I woke up a couple of nights ago in the middle of the night, probably when your cat jumped on my face.
It's your cat now.
It's my cat now. But I realized that there was something that I've always had from the time that I can remember, to now, that I'm extremely grateful for. And Abel said that, and it's absolutely correct, as you get older, what you consider to be worth gratitude changes. So I find this one thing in my life that I've always had and that I've always been grateful for interesting, so that's what I'm going to throw out here. I had, and Robbie sort of alluded to it too, about the movie on the bus. I have always, since I can remember being a little kid, had a connection with nature. Had a connection, wanted to be outside, had a connection with wildlife. Not just, oh, that's a cute bunny, pet, pet, pet. Not like that. Way deeper. Where I've always felt like it's almost like they talk to me. The trees talk to me. And I notice things out in nature that a lot of people can walk right by and never see, never think about, never notice. And where I grew up was in the Great Smoky Mountains, and I was so lucky to have parents that took us, my sisters and me, out in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park probably every weekend for a while, just all the time. We went out and we walked in the park, and we lived on 21 acres that was mostly woods. And so I've always been surrounded with that. I was in Girl Scouts for years, all that sort of stuff, and I've always been surrounded by that. And when I went to college, I kept trying to find that. That's what what are you going to do with the rest of your life? Go to school and do that. And I couldn't find it. And back when I was going to college, in those days, they didn't have guidance counselors and things like that. You're kind of on your own. And so I started with pre-vet, and it didn't take me long to figure out that wasn't it, especially when I had to take so much math, which I was horrible at. And so I switched schools and took up, like farming and that sort of stuff. I can build a really good chicken coop, but that wasn't it either. So I finally, when I moved to Florida, I went to UCF, and I went out on one of my first classes. I went out on with the group out in the woods, and it was community ecology. And we came back in, and I knew that was it. And so I took all those classes that had to do with that kind of stuff, and was fortunate. My grades weren't great. He says I'm brilliant. Not true. I had to work really, really hard, but I graduated, and I lucked into a job because I applied out at the Space Center right after the shuttle blew up, the Challenger accident. And they were laying people off like crazy. But for whatever reason, the science people, they were hiring. So I got hired out there in 1986, and got to go out into the field and be out in nature and study that stuff and write papers and get dirty and walk through stuff most people don't even want to look at, and that was heaven for me. It was heaven. So I did that for 35 years. COVID hit, things got a little weird out there, and I was getting to the point where I was thinking about retiring, and so I decided to go ahead and do that. And I was so worried that I was gonna miss my job. because I loved it. I loved my job, and I was so worried that I was going to miss my job, and I was so grateful for it. So, but I gave it up, and it was before I actually retired that I had an idea. Well, first of all, I wrote a bird book for beginning birders, and that was pretty cool, and I got to do all the graphics on it, and I have a sister that does desktop publishing. She's got her master's degree in desktop publishing. She was a huge help. Grateful for her. Thank you, Betty Lynn. She helped me, and we published that book, and then I started a company called Bolt Outdoors. Last name's Bolt Outdoors. So, and so every day I put on Instagram and on Facebook, I do a post on something that I've seen out in nature. And it can be anything from a pretty sunset to a little frog to a different kind of bird. I try to mix it up, different trees. I posted one a couple of weeks ago that was this, I was over in St. Pete, and we were at a downtown St. Pete, which is not particularly nature friendly, but there was this plant growing out of the side of the building, like 2 stories up. I said, oh, I took a picture of it. So many people commented on that and said, how do you see that stuff? I don't know, it just jumps out at me. So that has taken the place, I carry my camera around everywhere that I go, and that has taken the place of my job, and it has allowed me to keep what I basically call my superpower, and that I am so grateful for, because I can see how that's going to continue throughout the rest of my life. To be something that, as long as I pay attention and I teach other people how to pay attention and to pay attention, just bring it up to them. I'm not teaching them anything, just saying, hey, look at this, notice. I think that if I'm fortunate enough to, when I end my life, well, I'll have to tell them one thing that Scott's daughter told us. She was telling us how, if she had to, she would take care of us when we got too old to do it ourselves. And she said she was going to take her daddy and sit him in the corner and give him a joint and a television, and he'd be fine.
And you?
She told me she was going to put a tracker in my purse so she could make sure she knew where I was. But I thought, after that, and when I was thinking about tonight, I thought, you know what? At the end of my life, if I'm fortunate enough to be, even if I can't be out running around or getting out in the woods or something, sit me next to a window, get me a bird bath and a bird feeder, open the curtains, and I'll be fine. So that's my gratitude. Thank you.
You know, it's funny because we had a problem cat. We loved him so much. And he was a sweetheart, but he peed everywhere in our house. We knew he was an anxious cat. We know we have a lot of energy in our house. And I was like, man, let's talk about, you know, people we can possibly rehome him with. And then Scott and Becky came up, and I was like, well, Becky, like, she's like the animal lady. She's on the NASA bus, man. Like, she knows, if anyone could talk to this fucking cat and get him to stop pissing everywhere, it's her. So we brought the cat over to the house. He's never paid anywhere where he shouldn't. And he's become Scott's best buddy, apparently. It was funny, though, because he kept fucking with Becky as soon as we got there, because she's like, not on the counters. And he's like, yeah, I'm on the counter. So it's funny. I'm like, yeah, Becky can figure this out. No, Scott just needed a friend. And so did the cat. He's so sweet. He's such a good boy. I'm so glad he worked with you. But yeah, and that's another indicator that you guys are great people. You know, the cat settled in with you. If you were shitty, the animal probably wouldn't like you. So, you know. So next speaker is someone who's been coming here for a while, and I am grateful for the growth I've seen there. Because the first time I may or may not have gotten her a little bit too stoned off of marijuana joint to speak. And the second time she came, she said, can you please sit in front of me so I can feel like I'm talking to you? And then think we did that again, and I like sat way further, and then the next time she didn't need me. And now she comes up here and she just does an amazing job. So, and not that anyone's rating anyone, right? But like the thing is, I love to point out how people do a great job up here speaking, because so many people are fucking afraid to do this shit. So like when they're like, no, I don't know what I'm saying or what I'm doing, I'm like, that was brilliant. Thanks for sharing. So, ladies and gentlemen, Karen Zaccaroli. And it's showing the fuck out.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Big God, any God at all.
Oh, yeah.
It just fucks me up.
I am not what happened to me. I am what I choose to become. Good one.
Told you this deck's on fire, man.
It really is.
Gratitude. I had something every time. You know what? I'm gonna stop even trying to figure out what I'm gonna talk about because never fucking works out that way. The day or a couple weeks before, everything changes. It's like, well, forget it. Yeah, I really don't know what I'm gonna say except my gratitude as I look back over my life, as Scott touched on, the bad stuff that happens to us. I actually can think back now to what at the time was heavy, dark, painful, toxic, and I'm really grateful for those times because it got me where I am today. Each and every one, it's just been part of my growth, and without certain situations, I wouldn't have ended up one way or the other. And this week, as of Thursday, I am suddenly unemployed by my choice. I quit. I've been in a toxic work environment. Yeah. Thank you. Although, at this moment, typically I'd be a little stressed because I like to plan things. I like to know where I'm leaving one place, I'm going somewhere else. That was not in this scenario whatsoever. And it just had an incident that happened, wasn't directed at me, but I was there, and it was the owner of the facility. And she's toxic, very toxic. And I watched her attack this nurse who came in to do an intake for therapies for one of our residents, and she ripped her apart. Like, I was in shock, and it wasn't even aimed at me. It was brutal. And she had never met her before. She just attacked her. The story is absurd. I'm not even going to go into it. Let's just say I left work that day knowing I was not coming back. I had no plan, but I didn't care because everything always works out for me. No matter what the situation I'm going through or have been through, everything always works out. And the biggest blessings have been for me the things that I couldn't figure out on my own, and I gave up, gave it over, and I had the most miraculous things happen when I did that. So I'm kind of at a point today, being suddenly unemployed and not knowing where I'm going, how I'm getting there, when I'll get there, and I'm okay with that because I know I just closed the door on something that I had to. I had to get out of there in order to open up for whatever's coming next. And I don't know what that is. I wish I did. But I'll be grateful for the doors that open along the way, and it may not be where I'm potentially going to end up down the road, but for each thing that comes, I'll have gratitude. And it's always going to be unknowns out there, and even through the unknowns, everything's going to be okay. Everything always works out. Whether you can see it or not in the moment, it always works out. And for that, I'm grateful. Thank you.
So I just caught some whispers before and after that. The first whisper was Scott might have been the one this time that got her a little too far. Me, the second thing she said was I babbling? No, that was brilliant. I was sitting there thinking I didn't notice if you were under the influence of anything. I thought you were brilliant. So I was actually sitting there like, it's part of the story. I'm marveling at you.
Yeah,
Because
I had no idea.
I remember like the first time you were here and you were just like really, really, really nervous. And then every time you've just really stepped into your power. And then to hear that story, and it's like, I left work, I have nowhere to go right now, but it's better for me to leave there than to stay in a place that ain't for me. So I'm just like really impressed with you, proud of you, and it's really cool to see the growth and the progress we all make over time in this room, as some come again and some don't come again till later, but like we're always all growing and progressing. So it's cool to see that. Really cool to witness your journey, so I'm sorry for throwing you under the bus. You're a killer, dude. I'm so proud of you. Our next speaker, another human I met at the workshop, and workshop is a raw weekend. You're very vulnerable. She pointed out some things that she was right about, and I was like, I don't know how to handle this right now. And then just kept giving me love over and over and over again. When I was like, man, I don't think she likes me. No, to the contrary, she loved me, and that's why she had to tell me things that I wouldn't like. And then just continues to show up with love and love and love. And now, like, I just get so much joy of just seeing her smile. At workshop is where I really started doing inner child work. And when she smiles, I get to see her inner child. And that really makes me happy as fuck. So Kathleen, Mrs. Kathleen Long, thank you for being you, and it is your go.
We're not gonna stop trying to do this forever.
Okay.
Says, hello, you badass, amazing human. Don't be sad. You're doing it fucking great, so just keep going.
Heck yeah.
That's kind of been the theme of life lately, you know. Okay, this happened, so what are you going to do next? The next thing. You know, get up and keep on going when you fall down. Or sit there forever and drop dead, you know, your choice. So when this topic came up of gratitude, I remember saying to Rose that this is the hardest topic I've ever had to talk about. I can remember years ago, you know, being at my house, and I don't even remember what the specific thing was, but I remember yelling at the top of my lungs, Don't ask me to be grateful about this. I don't like it. I hate it. Because that's how I felt. And the teaching and the learning from that is how you move from those places is to find the gratitude in the experience. For some reason, when Robbie was talking earlier and he was talking about he wasn't normal, it makes me grateful that I took a statistics class where they teach you about this normal bell curve of distribution. And you've probably all seen it where, you know, this is everybody in the world, and on this line, you draw a curve that looks like this, and this part up here is, for some weird reason, the part that we think is normal. But the term in the statistics class is the normal bell curve of distribution, which means everybody's on it. So in case you didn't know it, you're perfectly normal. It's just, you know, and our topic for next time is perspectives. So that's one of the things for me. I'm grateful about how the universe teaches you to change your perspective on things. As a little girl, we get taught, our little kids, we get taught the magic words, please and thank you. And so we're at the table and we want some food, and it's, you know, we're taught to say, please can I have some of that, but we don't feel like saying it. You know, we just want it. And when somebody gives it to us, we don't want to say thank you, because we're not grateful. They didn't give it to us fast enough. We wanted it yesterday. We were impatient. And just we don't feel those feelings. And one of the other words, I always add the you know, please and thank you, and I add the word you're welcome to that, because I believe we want all the wellness to come to us. And the more we use that term in our life, I see more of it come to me, more wellness, more things that I like come to me. So what I really want to say is that I am really grateful that when I say the word thank you in my life now, I truly, with all of my being, mean it. I'm not just saying it because somebody told me to. That I really know what it's like to be thankful to sit here in the room with all you guys. And I look at experiences in my life, you know, when I'm driving down the road with fog in front of my face and 3 kids in the back seat and can't see 2 inches in front of me. And I look back at how the hell did I survive to get to here, you know? And just, you know, we talk about creating the magic in here. And the magic is just, you know, it's that invisible force that happens when you speak from your heart space. And, you know, you can't see gravity, but it's real. You can't see magic, but it's real. We feel it and we know it, and it touches us. And, you know, when I walk into this room and see the smiles on everybody's faces, it's just that, you know, happiness that we all get to have. Just because we're all here together, and, you know, our intention is to do things in a good way. You know, even, you know, we've learned that if we beat the other person up because we don't like what they're doing, it's a waste of our time. So we're deciding not to do that anymore. You know, and just figure out how to sit in the moment, whatever experience we're having, and instead of whining and complaining about it, just remembering to be thankful that we get a chance to explore the moment and figure out what good we can create in it. I had a wonderful conversation with Cora over in the corner, and she's telling me about all these wonderful things in her life. You know, with just that beautiful childlike innocence that's so wonderful. And Thanksgiving for me I spent at my oldest son's house, and he has two daughters, one who's 13 and one who's 15. And there weren't any little kids there anymore. The one who's 13 is the youngest one, so you know, we used to always play games in the middle of the floor, and lots of tumbling and somersaults and things like that, and that didn't happen. And the football game was on, and my son and his wife were arguing about whether to watch football or basketball, and laughing because the wrong team won, and just all sorts of typical sport fan bullshit. But they had fun with it. And all of a sudden, my 15-year-old daughter, who's sitting on the couch, jumps up off the couch, and she goes, "I just had a bomb idea." I went to her, what? I don't hear very well, so I must have asked her 7 times, what was that first word? She goes, you know, bomb, B-O-M, B-O-M, bomb idea. And she says, that's what I say when I'm having a wonderful idea. And she sits down in front of me and proceeds to tell me what she's been doing with her mind for the last 2 hours while the rest of us are celebrating Thanksgiving. And she tells me this whole script of this book she's writing in her head. And she was so excited and so magical, you know, it was just so magical for her to be able to talk to me about it. And it took me back to sitting on the floor with her under the table at Thanksgiving gathering and reading books to her. And it was so cool because she knew that I was the space that she could come to, and I would listen to her tell her bomb idea when she had nobody else to tell it to. And it just like, I wasn't sure, you know, I'm just grandma now. She's like over me. But she discovered, you know, that, you know, she remembered that connection and it was important to her. And my other granddaughter, who's the 13-year-old, starts turning somersaults across the floor. And I went, oh my God, I remember when I taught her how to do that. So it was, you know, people come and go in your life, granddaughters, grandsons, friends, you know, and you have moments when you barely speak to each other, and then times when you come around when you're the most important thing in the world to each other. And, you know, just being able to be okay with how the energy ebbs and flows. And, you know, sometimes you get up in the morning and you have this wonderful day and you're very happy, and sometimes you get up in the morning and you're kind of sad and bummed for whatever reason and you don't even know why. And just to be able to be okay with it. And what did it say on this card? Keep on going. So I'm grateful that I'm still here and I'm keeping on going. Thank you for listening. One more thing to say. Come do the workshop sometimes that he keeps talking about, because then you find out the magic of little yellow pieces of paper.
Thank you for your insight. I always enjoy hearing all the things that your brain has to say. And I really enjoyed that part about you know, creating that place for her to tell her bomb idea too, because we don't listen to kids a lot of the time in our society. So it's one of the things I vowed to change this time around with my youngest child. I want to make sure that he's always heard to some level, you know, and he's always feeling safe sharing his bomb idea. So next person that's going to come up, another human. I mean, I'm grateful for everyone in this room, but she's just so fucking brilliant, and so kind, and so sweet, and so genuine, and has just a radiating energy about her. And the first time I met her here, I was like, I need to talk to that woman. I just need to hear what she has to say. And ever since then, I've been given the opportunity to continually listen to some of the brilliant shit she has to say. And you just never continue to stop amazing me. And I am so glad to have you in my life, and I'm honored for you to have me in your life. Ladies and gentlemen, Grandmother Rose. That's all right.
But where, you want to know what my reaction was with what you said?
Huh.
That was perfect. I'll go sit down.
You grab yourself a
Get
card?
a card.
All right.
Yeah. There. Wait a minute. You might have to read it.
I
for
got
me.
you. I will savor the fucking sweetness of life today.
Yes. I will. I do.
Yeah,
I do. I do. I do. Yeah. What?
You said life and not pie?
Okay. Okay.
Pie is the sweetness of life.
Yeah. It can be. Yeah. Yeah. You know, gratitude is a huge subject. I mean, in my life right now, I've been looking at it. Kiki's been coming and visiting and helping me work in my yard and get my house and my outside home a whole lot better. And we talk a lot about gratitude, what we're grateful for, and we just really have a good time. And we've had fun talking about gratitude and when we're digging in the yard and picking up trash and debris. She'll say something, I'll look at her and say, gratitude. And then she'll look at me and say, perspective. So we're already discussing next month. And it's so much fun, you know, when you're enjoying a good time with a very dear friend. I'm in a place where I'm totally walking in gratitude right now. I live, Becky, you reminded me of my life and playing Tarzan in the trees with my brother and taking care of the chickens, the hundreds of chickens in the backyard, and, you know, just living outside and going and the beaches and everything around here. I grew up in Florida. My family's been here since the Civil War at least. I live on a lake in a very old home that my in-laws bought a long time ago when I married their son and they moved to Titusville. And it's an absolutely wonderful place. I never dreamed I'd be living there. Never dreamed I would be living on the lake, on South Lake. The time that my son was sick and we were taking care of him, and now that he's passed, we didn't do much work outside or anything like that, but it was still a beautiful place. It didn't matter, you know, even if the grass got this high, and sometimes it did, because he couldn't cut the grass anymore, and we had to wait until we could find somebody that could cut the grass. And the trees grew thick on the water because I had planted 2 cypress trees that I forgot they act like weeping willows, and I couldn't even see the lake most of the time. Couldn't see the sunsets because my home faces directly west, and it's absolutely amazing to watch the sun go down every day. Even when it's cloudy, you can see some color. But about a month or 6 weeks ago, some friends came over to help clean up my yard, and do so much stuff. And Kiki and David came over. They're the ones that set it up. And Kathleen came, and another father and son. What was his name? Abel was his son's name. And Christopher. Is that right, Kathleen? That's who it was? Yeah, that's who it was. Neat people. And they trimmed the trees on the waterfront, and now I can see the lake and I can enjoy it. And I have great big windows in the front on the waterfront, and I open them up every morning and just stand there and just say, good morning. Good morning, world, and thank you, and be grateful because it's such a beautiful, beautiful place. Not fancy, very old, little blocks of a house, but it's my home, and I've been able to reclaim it. So I'm able now to get up in the morning and know I'm by myself. I'm enjoying every moment of it. I can sit, play games, I can watch TV, and I now have a 65-inch TV that my brother gave me. Talk about gratitude. It has Roku on it. It has unbelievable programming on it. A smart TV, I've never had one before. And then I took the old one and put it in my bedroom, and it only has Roku on it, so I can listen to the music. I can do TED Talks. I can do whatever I want to do in the morning time for a couple of hours. Being an older person is kind of beneficial in many ways. I don't have to go to work every day anymore. I mean, I don't have $100 to wrap in my hand all the time, but I have plenty of food to eat. I mean, too much sometimes. But, and I have a home. I have a place to live that people keep saying, you ought to sell this. It's too hard for you to pay for the bills and all this kind of stuff. I said, no, thank you. The only way I will leave this place is when you put my ashes in the lake. And then I'll be happy too, because it's a beautiful place and I do have several of my family members there already. But it's I have bad thoughts. I get down in the hole sometimes, but I know I bring myself up with gratitude because I look around my home and I'm simplifying it and getting rid of stuff that I don't need, that does me no good anymore, and making it an even more beautiful place every day. And people come and visit. Not a huge number of people do. I visited today with a friend I hadn't seen in quite a year or two, and I helped her raise her daughter. I've always taken care of kids and enjoyed it. And watching them grow and watching other people. And now as I've gotten older and older, and that's fine, I'm not old, but I am older. I love to watch people. I love to observe. I love to see, how you're going to change this time and what you're going to say and what you're going to do and what you're going to add to my life. And just have that feeling of gratitude in my heart and thankfulness. I have it's an appreciation tree that I have on my bedroom door. And I will go home tonight and I'll put as many as you as I can remember on that tree because I've enjoyed you. I've met you. You're part of my life. You join my circle of friends, and it's a place I come where I feel really good coming here. I'm so grateful that Kathleen encouraged me to come, and I came and met Robbie and Donna and Chad and Megan and everybody, any of you. Scott and Becky I already knew, and they've been a very special part of my life too, and still are. Don't forget me when you do lodge, because I want to come. But it's to have that feeling in your heart that, like Karen said, you know you're going to get through it no matter what happens. That's a promise I'll make to anybody. I know you're going to get through it, but I don't know who, what, when, where, how, and why you are, but we're going to get through it, and I know that too. And knowing that my son is just fine, both of my sons that have left are just fine on the other side, and that we'll all be fine. That's when we get perfect, is when we are on the other side. Not in this life. This life is not supposed to be perfect. It's a journey. It's an adventure. I call it an adventure. But I love it. I love all of you, and I love to come here because I love to go places where I feel accepted and wanted and loved and cared for, and I can share those feelings too. It's a two-way street, not a one-way street. two-way with all of you. And that's what I say when I say it.
Stuff like that is why I love this night. I met Grandmother Rose here, you know, so we wouldn't have met when we did if it wasn't for this event. And I'm once again back to the way through people. They've become like my biggest members of my weirdo hippy dippy soul family, and it's fucking awesome. And they're great people. Love you. Bye. So when I really started diving into the healing journey, the wellness journey, your vibe attracts your tribe. I was hearing a lot, and it's totally fucking true. And you just have to be open to it and ready for it when it does find you. So if you feel like you're finding parts of your tribe, here, internet, whatever, kind of follow that, because these people in my soul family help me to continually feel not alone with some of the shit I go through. That is because I'm human and life is hard. So I'm trying not to talk as much between, because these nights can go really long. So
We've moved at a significantly faster pace than usual.
don't
Yeah.
fucking say that. Don't say, dude. The second I fucking say we're ahead of schedule, 4 a.m. shows up. No, but like really, like it's been 4 hours the last few times. And,
One year.
5 was, oh yeah, yeah, like 4 hours and 44 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun. So our next speaker is also someone I met at the Human Narrative. And it's like listening to myself talk a lot of the time. Except she's little. And lots of fire from that little one.
Took a minute to process.
And just, I love the way you show up, because I can see the guarded nature, but I can also see that you don't really want it. You don't really want to have it. You just have to. And you give away love and vulnerability and honesty very freely. And it's kind of funny talking to you and not being able to see your face.
It's just a big old bright light.
Right? I learned I used your last name one time, and you like not that. So, but seeing the way that your child is as a human, seeing the way you interact with her, that's really swayed my opinion of you in a very positive way. But I've always thought nothing but amazing of you from the time I met you. So, ladies and gentlemen, Ashley.
Thank you. Looking like a badass with that hair and that jacket. Thank you. Thank you. I try so hard.
I have talent and gifts that the world needs. I will make some fucking magic today. Wow. Wow. So gratitude was also a hard topic for me. Shit, I've spent a majority of my life being told I'm kind of ungrateful. And a lot of it's true, unfortunately. It's funny though, because I have a really big heart, and I do like to do for other people a lot. I love to shop. I love to spend money. It's not always a good thing for me, but most of the time I love shopping for other people. It's when I see things that spark something inside of me. It's like, oh my God, I know this person would love this, and I really have to get it for them. And I love that feeling. I love the look on their face when I give them something that instantly made me think of them, and they know that. There's a true statement that says, you can do 101 things right, you can do one wrong thing, and people will remember the wrong thing. And which made me think of a story of a time that I was completely ungrateful because I wanted what I wanted. Amelia's dad, years ago, I wanted this hoodie that was pink, black, and white because those are my colors. And I'd seen it online. I wanted it for Christmas, and I wanted it so bad. And I told him, and I picked it out, and I said, this is the one, this is the exact one I want. Okay, cool. Well, I open it Christmas morning, and it is a pink hoodie, like the brand pink, but it is not pink, black, and white. It is completely like a Duke blue, which is my team, by the way. I was disappointed, and I could see the disappointment on Devin's face that he fucked up and didn't give me exactly what I wanted. He will never let me forget that story because of the way it made him feel. I have felt bad about it for many, many, many years because what he doesn't know is that I was grateful down the road. I remember asking him, why this color? Like, you never see me wear this color. Why would you buy this color? And he told me, because it matches your eyes. Yeah, I feel like an asshole. So later on down the road, when I thought about that and I thought about the way I made him feel that morning, I was just so disappointed in myself. And I've learned through my healing journey years later, I'm grateful that he didn't give me what I wanted because I looked damn good in that hoodie. I really did. It did match my eyes. Which brings me to, above all, I'm grateful for God. You all know that. I say that every time, and that will always be true for me. But I'm grateful to God for not always giving me what I want. Because what I want and what I need are, most of the time, they're two different things. What we want versus what we need. And I experienced that recently in life. After I had just purchased tires I could not afford on my car and completely changed her oil. 2 weeks later, she decided to completely stop running with broken alternator. And I was ultimately, if I could have picked the car up and just threw it in the woods, I would have hulked it and been done. But of course, inside, like, I'm thinking, all I want is somebody to fix this. I can't do this. This is too big of a job. This is a Volkswagen. I hate this car. Why did I buy this fucking car? This car's too expensive. What am I doing? And then, I got faced with the fact that I didn't have a choice but to do that shit myself. Because I couldn't afford to pay anybody to do that. So my dad was always mechanically inclined. I watched him for years take motors apart, transmissions apart, put them back together. And I remember always bringing him tools. And I never thought I retained a bit of that information until I have to start doing something for myself. And although I just wanted it to be fixed and wanted it to be over, I am grateful for the experience with help of being able to do it myself. It's very rewarding when you can be under your own vehicle and know what the fuck you're looking at. It's pretty awesome. I'm grateful for my dad for teaching me those skills, you know. I needed that time. God didn't give me what I wanted because I needed that time, and I know why I needed that time. I needed that time to be reminded just of just how resilient and determined I am as a person. Because I always say that people tell me I can't do something, and I'll be like, watch me. And I do it, you know, and I needed to be reminded of that lately in life. Like, I really needed that. And so I'm very grateful for that experience. I'm grateful for all the times that I don't get what I want and I get what I need instead. So, yeah, that's my story.
So that part where you were like, yeah, tell me I can't do something and I'll show you I'm going to do it.
Right. I know you can imagine.
God damn. That's all I'm about. The next speaker is me. Thank you. I am Robbie Rapole. And, you know, I met myself a number of times throughout my life. I'm still trying to figure out who the fuck I am. It's funny, I was talking to my nephew today, he stopped by. And just like he was saying how his mom was congratulating him on figuring out a lot of shit about himself, why he is the way he is and why he ticks the way he ticks at an early age, because she's right now still figuring that shit out. And I'm really grateful for that. Like the knowledge of we're always figuring shit out to a degree. A lot of the time when you and I talk, Scott, you kind of show me like, hey, I battle with this too. And I'm like, fuck, okay, cool. I'm grateful for the other side. I'm grateful for the darkness that others possess, because it makes me realize, oh, I'm not alone in that. You know, people, when they ask me, Robbie, how are you so positive? I'm like, because I'm a miserable fuck. Because I'm mean and I'm angry and I'm sad and I'm scared. And so I choose bright, happy, positive optimism instead, because I'll probably be in a really bad spot if I don't. So I have gratitude, you know, I have gratitude for that darkness. I had a client today, complete happenstance, totally attracted this client that needed me. Seemed maybe I needed them some. But when we were tattooing today, you know, we were talking, it was me, her mom, her dad, and they're really wonderful people. And we were talking about how much, like I was telling them how much I appreciate people in my life that have, you know, at one point I would have considered they really fucked me over. Or really hurt me. How about that? Really hurt me. Because fuck me over is a perspective shift, right? That's like, oh, victim shit. Well, fuck all that noise. You hurt me, okay? That's real. You can't take that from me because it happened. Well, with my middle brother, the amount of times I've gone back and thanked him through hard situations, even if we weren't talking. Because I was like, man, our relationship's been so fucking hard. I thank you for teaching me how to deal with this, because I know I can live through this level of heartbreak, this level of feeling abandoned, this level of feeling not good enough, this level of feeling pushed away. So it's really cool that these people and these experiences in our lives that suck dick for coke. I hate these experiences. I don't like them, but like they're experiences that I need. And I think Ashley just said, like, you know, she needed that reminder. Man, I don't want that fucking reminder, and that's probably when I need it the most. You know, Scott's been helping me through a number of issues lately, but, you know, specifically shit around, you know, my family and the way that's all going down, and then all the triggers that pop off around that. And, you know, I just realized that it's that darkness that helps you appreciate the brightness. But the thing that's kind of cool is I'm feeling again like this concept of just because it hurts doesn't mean it's bad. Just because you don't want it in that moment doesn't mean you don't need it. Gratitude. You know, Thanksgiving, motherfucker. Gratitude, bitch. That's your job on Thanksgiving is to have fucking gratitude. You know, I mean, what they taught us in school seemingly isn't right. So Thanksgiving isn't what I grew up thinking it was. Right? I don't want to fucking celebrate that weird shit. So what truly is Thanksgiving? It's in the words Thanksgiving. We're supposed to be giving thanks. And so I struggle hard around holidays. It's part of the reason why I lean so deeply into celebrating the fuck out of my birthday. Because it's like, look, I'm going to put my phone up. I don't care if you need me. That's not my problem right now. If you need me, you can talk to Donna and she might be able to derail my enjoyment. But really, I'm here to take care of and celebrate myself for a couple days. Because holiday is fucking weird, man. And my birthday is one of those. And like, if I don't focus on like, let's go do something cool, I'm like sitting around sad and weird on my birthday. So let me go ahead and fucking not be sad and weird by putting fun into my day. Well, Thanksgiving, that's stress I can't not control. Like I can't control that shit. Like spending $1,000 on a fucking dinner that I'm only gonna eat like one plate of, maybe 3 over the next couple days. That's weird to me, right? So that's stressful because I have weird things around money, right? So fuck your Thanksgiving. I just spent $1,000 on dinner. This is fucking ridiculous.
It wasn't that much this year.
It's very close. She does her first run and she's like, it was only $550. Like, I'm like, cool, dude. Thanks. I don't have any appointments this week. That's stressful. And you know, so I'm learning like, man, just because I used to live day to day, week to week, paycheck to paycheck, I don't have to live that way anymore, but my brain goes there. So I can't be fucking thankful for my financial situation because she just spent every single dollar we've ever made on dinner. So now I'm stressed out about that. We can't talk about other pressing issues because she's so stressed about feeding 400 people. You know, so like now I lost my wife for about, 3 days to a week because she's just like, she's strategizing, she's a fucking military general planning to win a fucking war, like.
I won the war.
Yeah, she did. So now she loses. So I lose my partner, my handler, my companion, my brain sounding board, my bouncer, everything. I bounce things off her. She bounces people out of my life, I depend on this motherfucker, and now she's not there, right? But I can't fucking have gratitude for her because now she's not fucking there. So no, I'm not grateful for you. So now you spent all of our fucking money we've ever made on one dinner. I'm never going to have your energy, love, kindness, or fucking focus again because you're focused on this dinner. And like, you planning for all these people, and I know there's going to be some people that don't show up, but you don't want to hear that. And now I'm going through shit with my oldest son, and I'm like, all right, let me invite him. And then he's like, well, not yet, man. And I'm like, oh, fuck this holiday. Nothing's good here. And in the back of my head, it's like, look at all the love you got. And it's like, it's not enough. Love ain't enough. That's why I've been divorced twice. Fuck this place. So like, this is where my brain's going.
$760.
You had to go get the receipts.
I did.
Which is still $230 shy of $1,000. So, I mean, if we're doing Donna math, that's $1,000. Because like,
No,
if you were to have $760 in your pocket and somebody stole it, you'd be like, they stole $1,000 from me. So, right, round up. Like we're above 5. We're going to the next fucking largest number here. So I've got all these things that I'm fucking stressing about, and like, it's just been fucked up, right? But then the other side of things, like a couple days ago, my brother I haven't been fucking talking to decides to fucking text me and be like, hey man, let's go and do Christmas together at your house. I'll cook shrimp scampi like Daddy used to. And like, I know, like that's gonna make my mom so fucking happy because she hasn't had her boys together for a holiday in a long time. So right, so I got this gratitude, but fuck that, because this shit's really hard to handle right now. And you know what? I'm probably fucking working on healing the problems and the stress and all the trauma from my brother and family and fucking holidays now. I'm literally watching that melt away and seeing the healing really truly emerge. But fuck that, I still carry around the pain of that shit. So holidays are hard. And you know, like, and I decided to take to Facebook Thanksgiving morning because, like, I was having a hard fucking time, man. I was crying a lot and just, like, beating myself up and fighting and having the wrestling match. And, you know, I went into the tattoo community support group that me and Donna created to, like, I tell people, like, share your dirty, ugly, dark shit. Like, if you want to share it on Facebook, but it's probably not smart, share it in here. Ain't nobody going to judge you, safe space. So I fucking went in and I, like shared parts that I don't feel comfortable fully sharing all the time. And I got a lot of positive feedback. And I started feeling better before the positive feedback started coming in. And that was the weirdest part. Because I didn't need the feedback. Typical Robbie, older version of Robbie, would have needed the feedback so that way you can tell me I'm actually a good person. But when I fucking just spit out the fucking raw meat that was making me gag, I didn't gag no more. You know, and like I said to you at the beginning of the night, you know, sitting down with my oldest when it's time, and he's just going to fucking say a bunch of shit that's going to make me want to yell. And then I just have to say, thanks. I appreciate that. I'm sorry. What else do you need to say? Just like I did with my family, right? So, like, I'm learning that, like, this healing shit, it isn't tangible, but bitch, it kind of is. Because if you fucking look at your life, and if you look at the way things go, you can actually see a tangible shift in the way things used to go. I've seen your confidence boost so much on the microphone since we started doing this. That's a tangible shift. No one can fucking take that truth.
It just looks like I'm more confident.
You are.
Bitch, don't even lie to yourself.
It's in my head all the time.
That's fine. It still fucks me up too, but we still do better than we used to. Neither one of us is canceling the event today. Yeah. It's usually me though.
I don't think I've ever done it.
Shut up. And, you know, I'm grateful for people to pick me up and put me back on when I get derailed, because I have a tendency of derailing myself. Like I explained all the things that made Thanksgiving so hard, and just sharing that. I was like, oh, all right, cool. So then I went out of the group and went on my regular Facebook, and I took the really hard shit, the really raw shit, and I put it in ChatGPT and had it soften it down and take specifics out. And it still had the same exact message. When I read the ChatGPT, I fucking cried. I was like, oh yeah, this is good. We're going to post this too. Because it made me cry and it was my own fucking shit. Damn, all right, there might be some medicine here. And then the biggest thing was people kept saying, thank you for this. I feel this. I feel this. How many people fucking hate holidays? We all go through some sort of like trauma we have to relive, or fear, or weirdness, or like, you know, somebody died and now holidays aren't the same, or, you know, like I don't get to see this person, so holidays aren't the same, or, you know, this happened on these holidays and they're not the same. And so like, I'm like still holding on to a lot of these old things. Like somebody on the social media was like, it's like you're carrying around that same bag of rocks that you don't need anymore. Let go of that bag of rocks, because that's just pain from the past. You don't need that no more. So it's interesting. I know that there was a quantifiable healing moment, because Wednesday night I'm fucking yelling at Donna because I'm so fucked up about it. And then Thursday morning I wake up crying, and then somewhere, you know, earlier in the day I figure it out. And then I just realized, oh, cool, man. Holidays are cool. You know, she's like, don't you appreciate being loved? Wouldn't it be lonely if you didn't have all these people around? And I'm like, I don't fucking care. You know, like, maybe loneliness is better, 'cause it doesn't hurt as much as being rejected. You know, and like, I'm not being rejected. You know, I'm being loved by so many people. Even my son that I'm having discord with. We're navigating these weird waters because we've always been solid. And now, how do we fix this? Oh, never gonna happen. We're never gonna fix it, because everybody leaves and life sucks and nobody loves me and like all that fucking shit, right? So like that's not who I am anymore. You know, like I get to look at myself and be like, nah, man, I love you. And like Louise Hay, she's a brilliant lady, you know, telling me to look in the mirror and tell myself I love myself and shit. I've been doing that when I brush my teeth, if I can remember, because it's really hard to look in the mirror and tell yourself I love you. And gratitude. So like, let me bring it back to Thanksgiving. I'm mad as fuck at Thanksgiving because I can't figure out how to have gratitude, but that fucking pulls up a common thread for me. I have a hard time with gratitude. If I sit there and I write in a gratitude journal every day, I get tired of that shit and I stop because I'm like, this is just the same shit over and over again. And I feel like that's stupid just to repeat the same shit I'm grateful for over and over again. Which, as I say it out loud, is stupid to not do that. Because if you can fucking appreciate the little tiny things that you should have gratitude for every day and continue to count them, well, now you're counting the things you have instead of discounting the things you don't have. So like, I'm learning these fucking lessons through this. But I'm like, and I kind of laugh at myself. I'm like, why the fuck do I have fuck Thanksgiving. I have a hard time having gratitude. This is stupid. Like, why can't I just have gratitude? And instead, you know, I get on these soapboxes and I'm like, this is fucking stupid and this is a trap and this is a lie and you can't trust this. And it's like, shut up, Donna. But, you know, you have to find your way through all that. And like that's part of, you know, that's part of my issue in life. It's hard to do things for me, so I fight and I kick and I scream and I bite and I spit and I finally give in. And when I can just fucking give in, then like my perspective shifts and then I can have gratitude. Even for the things I don't like gout. If I didn't fucking have gout, I would have never realized that like drinking a gallon of water is necessary a day. And eating a more vegetarian fucking diet is like super good for me. And it would have never fucking made me stop drinking as much as I used to drink. Like gout is the reason why I don't drink like a madman anymore. Because my fucking body said, yo, fucker, if you're not gonna listen, we're gonna make you listen. And you don't like being in pain, despite what it looks like. The morning, December 10th of last year, I woke up with fucking swollen ass knuckle from drinking way too much the night before. I was like, all right, I gotta fucking slow this down. I gotta quit this. I gotta stop this. This is bullshit. I can't live like this no more. And like when I told somebody that story, she's like, wow, I thought it would have been like way worse. It's not a big deal. I'm like, bitch, it was a huge deal. Like, I'm over here drinking, making my fucking knuckle a swollen, painful mitt, and it's my fault. So things like gout that I fight with because it makes me have to fucking streamline my diet to where I eat properly, which makes me lose weight, which puts my fucking, you know, sugar numbers in order, and it puts my blood pressure numbers in order, and it puts my cholesterol in order. So like all these, fuck gout. I hate it. It's been fighting me for fucking like 20 years, but it's probably one of the best things that ever happened to me. And now I know that because I have gout, that means I am not impervious to anything, so I better fucking start taking care of myself better. Otherwise, I'm gonna die sooner than I'm ready to. And one of these things I've been saying is, I ain't ready to die until I'm ready to die. So the moment that I die, it's gonna be because I fucking said, okay, I'm done. Thanks. Wrote this book, watched this movie, I'm cool to go. And I have to have that because I'm stubborn. So now I know I gotta get healthy, and gout keeps me on track. Because tasty cake is real easy to eat a lot of. Sugar's really good. And she always keep that shit around. She always make tasty shit.
It's love.
It is. And her love makes you fat and dead if you eat too much of it. But you know, so like I have to fucking have thanks for that. Because I've been battling real hard. I've been wanting to drink a lot lately, but I've been having lots of fucking gout flare-ups, and I'm like, you can't do that, man. So like it's been keeping me from probably fucking stress drinking. Because I'm so good at fucking pretending I don't have anything going on so I don't sit there in my misery that the shit fucking is there. I'm just not paying attention to it. And then when you just lay there and you say, hey, I'm sorry, what do you need? It's like, hey, I'm mad at you. I'm inflamed. I'm so sorry. How can we deflame you? You know, like, cool. All right, let's fix that. But like, I am really good at fighting that for so long. So it takes me a while. And then gratitude is like this fucking key, right? You're like, oh yeah, I am thankful for this and this and this and that. Instead of your brain, because my brain loves to go to like, I am not thankful because this and this suck. My brain's really good at painting those pictures all the time. So like I have to find this way back to gratitude. And like I can make it simple. I don't like the way I felt Wednesday night when I was throwing a fucking tantrum. I didn't like the way I felt Thursday morning when I woke up in a tizzy and stressed out and crying a lot. I did like the way I felt when I let all that shit go and had a really great fucking Thanksgiving with my mom, who I've had mega discord with over the years, and fucking Donna and all the people that, you know, live in the house, and a couple of the folks that came over from the shop, and just like everyone that fucking came, like it was just such a nice time. And like, yeah, that's because I was afraid I was gonna have a bad holiday again, but I ended up having a great holiday, so I had to put down that bag of rocks. It's Dylan's mom, actually, Dylan that works at the shop. She's the one that said the bag of rocks analogy to me. And reading it this morning, I was like, I should have figured tell me about my bag of rocks. And now I'm like, oh yeah, that was pretty fucking brilliant. Yeah. Because when they touch things that hurt, like it takes a minute. Don't touch a thing that hurts. I don't even want to touch a thing that hurts. Oh really? Don't hurt that bad. Okay, we can touch it. All right, let's put that down. Well, that was pretty fucking smart. Thanks. You know, like, so I have to put down all these. You gotta put down the bullshit so you can fucking pick up the gratitude. And I think that's really what it comes down to. I struggle with putting down the bullshit so I can pick up the fucking good shit. At least I know, like, I know how to fight. I kill you, bad shit. That good shit, I don't know when you're gonna leave and I'm gonna die because I don't have you anymore. I don't even want to fucking look at you because you're gonna leave me. Good shit. Fucking scary bitch. You don't love me. Bad shit, that motherfucker's always around. We're gonna do good there, even if we hate ourselves and everyone else there. So like I have to remember, let that bad shit go. Look at the good shit. It's all about focus and perspective in having gratitude. So yeah, man, can't have light without the dark. Can't have good without the bad. Your logo is the fucking yin yang on purpose, I'm sure. It's all about balance, right? Taoism says it is and it isn't. At the same time, fuck you. Like, what are you talking about? Well, that's truth. It is and it isn't. So don't say fuck you, just deal with it. And when it is, then it is. And when it isn't, then it isn't. And that's just what it is. So, thank you guys very much. I got to read my card. My body is strong, capable, and so fucking wise. That's some real shit. I feel like these affirmations are really affirming tonight.
Funny as fuck. You were just talking about your gout.
Right. And an affirmation that I can say that I repeat a lot in my head over and over to combat the gout, and I usually say it and repeat it a lot when I'm in pain from gout, is I am safe and secure. I am at peace with myself and others. I learned that that is an actual affirmation that is used to help, like, soothe, heal gout. Isn't that funny? I talked a lot about how I'm not at peace with others or myself. So it's funny how the gout comes up to show me a number of things. One of my biggest fucking adversaries and probably one of my best helpers. Maybe we'll even be friends one day. So, yeah, if it's ugly and painful, it might not be bad. It might just be hard. All right. I love you all. Thank you. So, at the beginning of the night, we did the secret handshake with Janice and welcomed her into the Human Narrative Regulars Club. Are you feeling it? Are you ready?
Sure.
Do you wanna wear the crown of the Human Narrative Regulars? It's really not that impressive, man. It's just a Facebook group. and you have to speak, or you don't even have to speak. You're just in line to speak automatically.
I'm
That's
in
all
the
it is.
group.
And she speaks when the fuck she wants to. She
doesn't
does what
like
she
it.
wants. So, a human that I met through these events, who just happens to be connected to my mom through friends, and man, you're fucking wow. You and I, we go through some similar shit, dude. Every time you speak, I'm like, why are you telling my story? And so I feel a very great closeness, connection, and gratitude for you, because you're always sharing from such a visibly different place, but the very similar inside story. So, Janice Townsend.
By the way, that's the secret handshake.
Yeah, that's it.
There's a hug.
Yep.
The secret handshake is definitely a hug.
Yeah. But like, hold it until people around you get weird, and that's what makes it even more the secret handshake. When you can feel the room being like, what the fuck is going on there? That's the one.
Anne says you're not allowed to talk either during the hug.
Typically I don't, yeah.
We whisper to each other.
Yeah, she tells me to shut up.
One time
Just hug me.
I did a hug really long with someone, and I had just put in a cheese meat cracker in my mouth. The cracker turned mush, but the cheese and meat, they was still there.
Stuck to the roof of your
And
mouth.
like, I probably took like 1 or 2 chews, like trying to see if I could get away with it, and I was like, I can't. And it was probably the longest fucking hug I've ever had in my whole entire life.
As I say, was it bad?
Yep.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was a fun time. Secret handshake. Here we are. Hold it, make it weird.
I just got a visual. That's so awesome. You have to be odd to be number one. Dr. Seuss.
Heroes.
Oh, I love that. Gosh, just trying to find my skin here. So, just ditto. We kind of shared the same thing on Facebook. This is a really rough time for me every year. And I don't even really know why. I think about it, I come up with, ideas, whatever. I think my issue is, my arch nemesis is expectations. And it's a major battle for me. And what better time to have expectations than Thanksgiving and Christmas, right? So, as far back as I can remember, I never really enjoyed these holidays. Thanksgiving was better. Christmas I don't really do. And I would always volunteer to work. I worked in a hospital for 40 years, so they're always looking. I would work a double shift. I even had a kid who, when she was 8, came to me and can we have a serious conversation? She's like, I don't really like Christmas Day. What can we do about it? And she was your typical kid that wanted to sleep in till noon. And, but it's Christmas morning, so she'd get up and she'd open presents, and it was just the 2 of us for a long time. So, and then she'd go back to bed, and I'd be sitting there going, now what? Right? And so she asked if we could skip Christmas, and we'd watch a movie Christmas Eve. She'd get a present or 2. She'd tell me what she wanted for dinner. I'd cook her favorite dinner, and then I'd volunteer to work Christmas Day and get paid double time, and she would sleep all day. So it was a win-win. But I think it's the expectations for me is such a challenge. And really the light to that is gratitude. It's so frustrating because I get in this mood and if I sit here, I could tell you a million things I'm grateful for. But somehow my head always wants to go to the other, the yeah, but. And that's what I work on, though. You guys provide this platform and this acceptance to kind of talk this shit out, and somebody's card said bring it to the light, like voice it and acknowledge it, and it loses its power. And gratitude for me is one of those things when I'm really in a funk. If I just start listing things I'm grateful for, it will change my attitude. I just wish I could go there naturally, but it just doesn't seem like it's going to be a thing for me. And yet, still working on it. Mirror Works is a good one to encourage that, help that. But I think gratitude is kind of a superpower for me. Like if I could just get it out of the closet, it changes everything. But for some reason, it kind of sneaks back in there, and I forget all about it, and I get a really bad attitude, and it always seems to be around expectations.
Yep.
And God, they're
I just
just.
think that's so funny. What do people usually keep from the closet? It ain't gratitude. It seems to come on.
Mine's
Like,
it.
gratitude out of the closet. I'll be all-
Mine wants to hide. I don't know why. It's so damn frustrating, but it wants to hide in the closet, and I have to remember about it. But the minute I go there, and it's so, I don't know, life is just full of so many oxymorons for me. And I was really in a bad funk. This past month, and irritable, discontented, and annoying, and not annoyed, annoying. I was the one being annoying. And I went and helped a friend at her house, kind of the same thing Grandma Rose was talking about, and spent like 5 hours there helping. And I came out of there feeling so good, like I was finally out of my head for a little while, just focusing on somebody else, doing something they needed. It was amazing. And I know these things work, but it's an effort. And but you guys always make it feel, the workshop makes it feel. I've met so many people through this process that allow me to forget and then reset and try again. And I think the biggest a big gratitude thing for me is that I've put the bad away mostly. I'll go there, I feel it, but I don't hate myself for it. And that's a huge step. So the bat's gone, pretty much. But see, and I always feel like such a fraud, I told him on there, because I just spent 2 hours at my home group celebrating my 15 years sobriety tonight. Before I got here. Talk about a tribe, well, one, I'm blown away that 15 years, I can't believe all those 24 hours added up so much. And, but that room was full. That room was full, and I got cards, and I got flowers, and I got presents, and I got, there was just so much love in there. My sponsor, who is 83 now, pretty fragile, she came out, she don't leave the house very much at all. And she came out and presented me with the medallion. Her husband gave me his 15-year medallion. And it's beautiful. They don't make them like that anymore. And just so full, and I have so much. I could just sit here and tell you a million things I have to be grateful for. But man, I gotta work on the head. It just seems to be a natural place for me to go. But the best way to fight it is with gratitude. It is a superpower. The minute you start listing it, and focusing or paying attention, giving it voice, it will put those dark thoughts away. So, I can tell you, I just want to share a couple things coming up. My youngest granddaughter got married a couple weeks ago. And oh my God, it's been a month. Time flies. But she married an Air Force brat who's stationed out in California in San Francisco. And she asked me to drive cross country with her to move her. And so the military's coming to pick up all their shit, but her and I are taking her car. And we're gonna drive, we're leaving Christmas Day, because again, I don't do Christmas, so it doesn't matter. So I'm grateful that I got something to do to get up and go do. But she asked me, you know, to do this with her, and so we're gonna get in the car and this is gonna be something else. She is a mini me, and which is really fun to watch. I thought I was a pretty normal child. I lie. I was not, and she's fun to watch. And but we get to go on this amazing trip, and so I'm really, really looking forward to that. And I'm going to focus on that. I got through Thanksgiving, turned out to be great. It helps when you spend it with a group of potheads. My God, that was awesome. You know? Oh my God, I went with my daughter to some family, distant, strange, but family stuff, and saw my son-in-law. They call him Big Fluffy. He's a big guy, and he cries at everything, especially when he's high. And so I got to watch him sit there and cry with all the kids and tell him how much he loved them, and you know, Mr. Big Fluffy. And it was just great. It was actually turned out to be really good. So that's it for me. Thank you.
See, she added to the handshake.
Yeah, yeah. That's the thing about the handshake. You can do whatever you want.
So I know the girls want to speak, but there's 3 non-regulars now.
Okay.
If they want to.
Cool.
Before we give the girls the opportunity.
Cool. It was funny when you started talking about Big Fluffy crying with the kids and telling them how much he appreciated them. Donna started rubbing my back. So apparently I am the Big Fluffy of all. You know.
I wasn't sure if you caught that.
Oh. I'm okay with it. Look, and these kids gonna fucking think I'm weird as shit until they're fucking 47 or something, and they're like, damn, that was real love. Fuck, now I'm crying with all the kids. So yeah, this is the part of the night where anyone that hasn't spoken, that isn't a regular, that is still hanging around, if you find it necessary to speak, you now have the opportunity to speak. If you do not, then you do not have to. But if you want to and you're just scared to, get the fuck over it and come on up, because it's really not that bad, and you're safe here. And if you're just like, nah, man, it ain't for me, then we don't do that. But there's 3 left, you said.
So there was 4. The mic just went up.
Okay. So, okay.
Even though it's live streamed.
Oh, shit. So, Chad's brother Riley Tally.
I'm usually half in the band, but I do public speaking. I'm sober, so.
Yes.
Chad asked me to, so.
My man.
Free ball some shit.
Free ball some shit?
Yeah, okay. I'm not good with words. I have a speech impediment. It'll probably pop
I never
out.
noticed it.
I'm pretty stupid too, so. Yeah. Starting off pretty grateful about how stupid I am.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so gratitude. I have not prepared anything. Oh, sorry. See, I'm not good at this. See?
That's alright.
I'm usually drunk and it's usually more fun.
I was just gonna tear it up. You're good.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but gratitude. I think I'm grateful to just choose life every day. So I have a hard time
That'll help you.
not choosing that. But I think I'm very grateful for the reasons I choose life every day. Like one's a giant one back there. The one back there, you know, made me become a father. And I don't think I would be the man I am today without her and her daughter.
Hey, Jack, super proud of you for the amazing dad you've been.
Yeah, thank you. I try my best. And I'm very grateful to wake up next to her every day. And, you know, just live life with her and my beautiful little crazy daughter. I don't think I would be where I am at without them. I'd probably be dead in a ditch somewhere. Good possibility of that. That's pretty stupid. But I'm very grateful for that. I'm very grateful for just the friends and family I surround myself with. And I think that that's just a very hard thing to, I don't know, just digest, because it can be difficult with some like people around you. It can really change your, I guess, your perspective on life. I don't know. I'm trying to think. Free ball.
You're doing good.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't think, just
Read
speak,
your
you're
card.
killing.
I'll read my card.
Yeah, read your card.
I am feeling abundant and aligned. Fuck. That's fuck.
Hell yes.
Yeah. But I'm very grateful of choosing that. I'm very grateful for just like a stupid little hobby of mine. I've been doing my whole life is skateboarding. It's a little toy I play with.
You're really good at it.
I'm not that good at it. I'm alright.
You're pretty good.
But I like to challenge myself with it, and I'm very grateful for that. I think it's just a weird thing. People, like, I don't know, like as an adult, people are like, oh, why are you so skateboard? It's a child's toy, blah, blah. I'm like, it's fun. I enjoy it. It also teaches you life lessons. I think the definition of insanity is repeating the same thing over and over again, expecting a different outcome.
Yep.
And that's what I do for fun. I eat shit for hours and expect to land it and not eat shit. But I usually just end up eating shit. And I'm very grateful for eating the shit. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, my knees, my back are not grateful for it. But my mentality is, my mental state is very, very happy that I choose that. But it teaches you a lot of life lessons, and I think everybody should pick up something that does that for you. I think make you more grateful for life as well. Something to challenge yourself with. And I don't know what else to say. I'm very grateful for everybody. Very grateful for everybody here speaking. I'm very grateful for Chad asking me to do this, and I'm not good at public speaking. But I'm trying my best.
You'll get there.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
You'd be surprised how easy it gets after
Yeah.
doing it multiple times.
And you're really not bad at it.
Yeah, you're really not.
Well,
You're doing great.
well, thank you guys. I appreciate that. I think that's all I have at the moment. And thank you. We'll make it long and awkward.
Oh, yeah.
Is it already weird yet? Is it weird?
Somebody gives the music crackers.
A little weird.
We're talking. Apparently, we're not supposed to talk through it.
Sorry.
So we broke some rules, you
We
know?
whisper each other's ears.
Yeah, that.
I guess I'll speak to you.
Oh.
Oh, there you go.
Well, I'm not going to miss the opportunity to get Donna up here. So, I met Donna, and she was real pretty, and she picked up a fake peepee that was tattooed, and I was like, why is this cute girl talking about this peepee? And then we started talking in real life, because she put up a thirst trap post on Facebook
Slid in the DM.
and only spoke to me. She was like, I really wish someone would cuddle with me. And I was like, oh, cuddling's the best. Because I wanted to be like, not aggressive, but let her know I'm here to cuddle. And she didn't respond to anyone else. There's a lot of dudes that commented on that. She only
Well, they-
responded to me.
All of them were like, come over, come over, come over.
All you got to do is say, I like to cuddle. And then she's like, oh, I'll let you come over. It's one extra step, guys. One extra step. But yeah, we had a 30-day, 60-day, 90-day expiration date.
Yeah.
It's a little around 6 years later now. We have a child together, own multiple businesses together.
And the only expiration date is when this is dying.
Yeah, I mean, I'm down to kill you.
Propose to each other.
What's that?
You propose to each other.
We did, yeah, we did. And it was funny because when I think it was the first time she met Scott, I was bitching about the word chaos because I was like, I don't fucking like chaos. She brings too much of it. And he's like, oh, I love chaos. It's so great. You need her. Let her, they can bring out. Shut up, old man. When you talk to me like this. But, she is exactly the amount of chaos and love I need in my life. She is a reminder that, love's important and powerful. And the only time love isn't enough is when you're miserable and need more love because it always is enough. And she continues to let me know that. So, Donna Jean Taylor, your turn.
I get the special handshake.
Yeah.
I am in charge of how I feel today, and I choose fucking happiness. I really hate this light. Well, I am grateful as fuck, really, for everything in my life. I'm grateful for all of the trauma that I had happen to me as a child and teen and all of that, because it made me who I am today, and it allowed me to help other people through my trauma, which is rad. I'm very grateful for the life I have and that I can spend $760 on Thanksgiving
1,000.
and not have to worry about it.
And it won't be thrown in your face at all.
Yeah. I'm grateful that I'm not going to be homeless after spending money on Thanksgiving. I am grateful that I was able to become a mother, and I will soon be a wife.
Oh, soon now. Now you're putting me in a time constraint? You know I'm not into that shit.
I'm grateful that we live a life that I will be able to homeschool my son. I don't know, I'm just grateful for fucking everything, really. Like, there's not much that I'm not grateful for other than having endometriosis and all that other shit. Like, that sucks. That's stupid. It's fucking dumb. But yeah, literally, basically everything else I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for the tattoo shop, despite many, many times of me fucking hating this place. I'm grateful for it until days where I'm really stressed and then I hate it again. But I'm grateful. Grateful for friends and the family that I have created. I don't fucking know. I guess that's it. I'm just grateful as fuck. Yeah.
That should be a t-shirt.
Oh, wait.
Oh no, I'm just
Wait,
grateful
wait,
as fuck.
Wait. I'm also grateful for Scott, because every time I tell Robbie something and he doesn't believe me, I tell him to call Scott and he says the exact same thing to him, and then Robbie believes it.
Don't be mad that Scott's smarter than you, so I listen to him more. Even a broken clock is right twice a day, Donna, so if Scott says the fucking ridiculous bullshit that you say,
He says the same exact shit I say most of the time.
but most of the time you say ridiculous bullshit. Donna's a great salesman, and she tries to salesman me, and I'm like, don't you, fucker. So it's really confusing, because is she salesmaning me, or is she actually mean the shit she's saying? I don't know. So it takes a little bit of getting her honest with what's going on sometimes.
I understand that because you're a great coach, so are you telling me real shit or are you just coaching me? I don't believe you either. It's
There you go.
That's
You
the
know,
way it works.
That was
You guys have proposed to Scott too.
that was a very left-handed compliment.
I just
Very
said the
left-handed.
same thing you said to me.
No, you talk about me being a coach. I just talked about you always saying bullshit.
You
Well,
talk about me being a salesman and you being a coach.
I guess so.
Okay.
All right, whatever.
Alright, I love you. I'm grateful for you.
You should be.
Yeah?
I am a man to be grateful for.
Yeah, I'm gonna punch you right there. Stupid grateful.
Yeah, I love you, and I am grateful for your stupidity.
I love you.
I love you. No, I am grateful for you. And that's one of the things I didn't say. But I mean, it always fucking comes back to like, oh, Donna fucking did so much, and I love her so much. So like, you know,
It still feels nice.
oh, Donna's so great, I'm so grateful, and I love her so fucking much, and my life wouldn't be good without her, and she's always there to like watch me be a piece of shit. And then I'm like, I'm sorry I was a piece of shit. And she's like, oh, that's okay, I still love you, because I'm never going anywhere, because I'm not a piece of shit like all the other pieces of shit that leave you. And I'm not gonna fucking leave you like all of them. So thanks.
I love you.
I love you.
That was all cute and everything, just put in a sarcastic voice.
Yeah.
That's how Robbie shows his love. It's fine.
I mean,
I get it.
you're lucky my father was just mean when he showed love, and that's how you knew he loved you. At least I softened it and sweetened it some. Anyone else want to come up and make speak? Anyone?
They are.
Yes,
We're,
yeah.
Give
We're just-
everybody the opportunity before we
Yes, giving the whole room the opportunity before we give kids speak.
Before we give kids speak.
Yes, yes.
I was just repeating it.
You should, because I say brilliant shit. Just ask my friend Scott. He'll tell you how brilliant I am.
Exactly.
Naturally. All right. No more? Kids speak? Good to go?
She's texting the children.
All right. I'm going to go make one peep.
You should make two.
Woo! Are they? Did she say that she read?
Well, so
There
I'll
they are.
add in that this week, the Saturday before Christmas, we are doing our Toys for Tats drive, where you bring in toys for Christmas and we tattoo you, and then the Sunday after, we will be giving away all of those toys to families in need of Christmas stuff for their kiddos.
Sweet.
Yeah. Last year, I think I had about $3,000 split in between like 7 kids, where I took their parents out shopping for them and got them specific stuff that they wanted for Christmas, and it was really awesome and beautiful and wonderful, and I want to continue doing that every year. Okay.
Oh, we start?
Yep.
That's
Yeah.
Amelia and Cora. I met Cora about 10 years ago.
Here, hold on. I think Robbie's coming back. Is he gonna do this?
Is it? No, he's watching. Introduce yourself.
Oh, well, I'm Amelia. And I'm Cora. So, me and Cora are grateful for our family. And family. Let's say it again. And family. We are so grateful for everything that we have and everything that is to come. There's not much to it, but being grateful is basically just being happy for what you have, even if you don't have something that you want. At least you have something. At least you have something.
She been continuing.
Talk. Usually I talk. Your turn. I don't know. You don't know what to say? No. I don't know what to say. We don't know what to say. We don't really know what to say right now. But being grateful is just being glad you have something, because some people don't. A lot of people in this world don't have what we do, or some people may have more than we do, but the thing about being grateful is that you appreciate what you have and what is to come, because even though it might not be there yet, it is gonna come. So it may be low, it may be high, but you gotta be grateful for what you have. Anything else? No. Like, did you say don't leave? No. Every single time you come up with
What are you guys most grateful for right now in this moment?
Cora will say Roblox.
No, I'm most thankful for my family and all my friends and pets and everything that I have right now. I am thankful for my wonderful, hard-working mom, who every day goes to work, comes back, and takes care of me. I am thankful for the pets that I have at home that comfort me when I'm sad or when I'm lazy and I just want something to do. I'm thankful for Cora, my supercalifragilisticexpialidocious friend. I'm thankful for my other friends too.
I was just thinking that. That's a me move.
And I'm also thankful for my teachers who have taught me throughout the years and helped me grow and learn. So, yeah.
That's basically it.
We're just grateful
Yeah.
for what we have.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cards.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You get a card, you gotta read it.
Pick your affirmation cards. Each pick your own.
Just set this in.
Yeah, you gotta read it too. Let everyone know what they say.
On the microphone.
Are they allowed to curse? I think is a question.
Hurricanes.
Mom.
If it's a word. Oh, Lord. Yeah.
Okay. My dad will probably need.
Wait, this was
What word? What word is it? Is it the F word? Don't say it.
Sometimes there's duplicates.
You know first.
She doesn't like when I curse.
Do I say it or not?
You could just beep it out if you don't feel
beep it
comfortable.
out.
Bleep yourself.
Use something. Yeah. Use something in spot.
I will not apologize for being a true freaking amazing person.
You have to be
Those are D's.
odd to be number one. Dr. Seuss.
That just made sense to me because 1 is an odd number. Holy shit. Wow, I just processed that one. Thanks, kiddos.
Welcome.
I love that the kids always continue to like want to come back, and we're like, hey guys, stay quiet, and they're like, okay, we will. And like,
But they were pretty quiet.
they really did, yeah, they did great.
I mean, according to FaceTime, but that didn't do quick.
But at the end of the day, man, the fact that they still want to keep coming back and doing something very uncomfortable,
Even when they can't make it, she still wants me to record a video so they can play it.
and they've done that before, yeah, that's just really cool.
There's times when I don't want to, and Amelia's like, "No, Mom, we have to."
That's so dope. And I love that she's always wearing her red ink shirt. And when I pointed it out last time, she's like, I think she was like, yeah, it's been 9 times since I've come here and I wear the shirt every time. I'm like, all right, I like that. I like
We were
that.
at Mustard's the other day, and she saw the sticker on their thing, and she's like, "Look, Mom, look, there's the red ink sticker."
Oh, I love that. And so, we always talk about, like the struggles of owning a shop. I actually didn't really dive into that this week because I'm so fucking tired of talking about it. I just enjoy this place. I love this place. It can be a stress sometimes, but like the fact that like we're teaching kids that the tattoo shop can be a safe place is really cool. Because for me, it was always a safe place. I felt more comfortable at a tattoo shop most of my life growing up than anywhere else. I still feel that way a lot of the time. I could walk into any tattoo shop and feel completely at home, even if we don't speak the same language. So it's really cool that like I get to share that with kids.
I'm bringing it to schools.
Right. We're bringing it to schools, and like the other day there was a 16-year-old girl in here with her family, and she was sketching in her book, and I'm like, you're fucking amazing, dude. Like, do art for a living or some shit, because you can. And like, it's really cool that like these families bring their children here, and we can teach kids. You don't got to be normal by society's standards. So, with all that being said, thank you all for coming out. I love the juxtaposition of how miserable Thanksgiving started to make me, and made me really think about the gratitude thing. And then, you know, of course, like it wasn't planned strategically, but gratitude was right around Thanksgiving, so it was like the perfect time to talk about this. But you know, in the true fashion of balance, you gotta have the not gratitude to have the gratitude, because it is and it isn't at the same time. So, everyone, thank you for being a part of this. Thank you for coming to yet again another Human Narrative at Rad Inc. Thank you, the internet world, for being a part of this. If you can't make it, we always stream live on YouTube. I always post the link on my Facebook page, but you can just go to the Rad Movement on YouTube when we have these events, and it is always live streaming. Usually we have Zach from Silver Slate Visuals to make it look so pro and legit, but we needed to still put the content out there. So
Shout out to Logitech.
yeah, shout out to Logitech, yay, and the blue microphone. But yeah, I am filled with gratitude every time we do one of these events. It's not easy every time, but it is always worth doing. And the amounts of times that I hear, you know, thanks for having this platform for us, it's really heartwarming. Actually, the other day, I was doing a consultation with a client, and I hear David screaming, "Yeah, Robbie!" Because we play the Rad Movement YouTube on the TV up front, and like it was a very low volume, but David's screaming like, "We love you!" And I'm like, "Fuck!" It's so cool that we do this, and there's just this healing element that comes, and I've like stopped being like, "No, that doesn't happen. No, this is really cool." There is a lot of healing that comes through these evenings, and I love how you always talk about like shine light on it. You know, look at it, and it can't, you know, bring the dark to the light, and it can't hurt you no more. This night does that for a lot of us. So yeah, I love that. I appreciate you all for always being here, because even if we don't attract a giant crowd outside of our tribe still needs this. And that's one of the things I have to have gratitude for, is this room, regardless of the amount of attendance. Because if I don't have enough people come to my party, or enough people book tattoos with me, or enough people show up to my events, I'm not good enough, is an old narrative that I've had for years, when really the narrative is, nah man, this is fucking sick, and everything is supposed to happen the way it's supposed to happen, and these nights go exactly how they're supposed to go, and the people that are meant to show up are the ones that show up. So I want to thank all of you in this room that show up. And I want to remind everyone that showing up in life is really important. Keep going. Don't give up. You've made it through every single fucking bad day, even though you didn't want to during some of the hardest parts of it. I've been struggling with that a lot lately. I just don't want to fucking keep going, but like, what is the option you have? I remember when I was opening one of my shops in the past, my best friend Ozzy, who was like, "Man, you're acting like you have a choice. You want to open the shop? Do the fucking thing that you need to do. You don't have a choice. Because if you want the shop to open, you got to do the thing." So I was like, fuck. And that's what life is. You don't have a choice. If you want a good life, if you want a happy life, you got to keep moving. And so, last thing, this came up I wanted to say this during my share, but I forgot. So when I made that Facebook post about how holidays are heavy for me and they're difficult, one of my friends, she reached out, and she's like, "I opened my Instagram, and right after I read your post, this pops up." And it was just this whole thing about like, you know, having to feel the shit. And like, you just have to feel it. Like that's how you heal it. Like, you don't have to like go fucking bake bread or anything to heal the shit. Like, you just have to feel the shit. You don't have to make this grand gesture to heal the shit. The grand gesture is just living through the hard stuff and taking the nutrients from the fertilizer that smells like shit and helps you grow. So, if it's hard, if it's dark, if it's scary right now or at any point in time in your life, that's fucking normal. That's part of the healing. Shadow work. Shadow work is the shit that you do in the dark that's fucking hard and scary and you don't want to face. You know, some of the shadow work we did was learning how to like give my leg like the thanks and honor the leg that was there, and love and honor and respect the leg that is there. And this is my life now, and this is what we look like, and thank you for this experience. Even though sometimes I look at my nub and I'm like, that's fucking weird. No, it's like, thank you, because you made my already weird fucking life just more perfect. Like, what better way to live life being a weird guy than to be a weird guy with one leg? Like, it just makes it that much more perfect for my character development in this story that, you know, has already been written that I'm just living out, right? So, you know, that shadow work, it's a dark, scary place. And you're supposed to fucking go there. And you're supposed to fucking slay the demons and fight the dragons. And what that looks like is sitting there fucking feeling like you're dying inside. And that's just how you fight the demons. Just let them be. And if you really need to do something, ask them a fucking question. What are they there for? What are they supposed to be teaching you? How can I stop being mad at you and learn what your purpose is? How can I accept you? These are things we can ask our demons, our problems, our pain. But when I'm in the midst of them, like, fuck this, I want to turn the TV off right now. But you can't. So if it sucks, if it's hard, when it sucks, when it's hard, man, just feel that shit. It's okay. I'm really glad I made that post. Even just for that one thing, my friend sharing that thing with me, I was like, shit, man, good reminder. You gotta sit through the hard shit that hurts. That's why, like, you know, I talk about feelings all the time, and, you know, I like to lean into the good feelings, but honestly, I do like to lean into all the feelings. And when we share all the feelings, they're no longer in the dark. You brought the darkness to the light. And now,
Wholeness. All of them makes wholeness.
a wholeness. You got to love all sides, is what someone told me. One of the first times me and Donna spent time together, we were in that person's kitchen, and they were like, you got to love all sides. And I'm like, oh, I don't know how to do that. Learning.
Half the elephant doesn't work. You gotta have the whole thing.
Exactly. I like that.
Doesn't. They get nowhere with only half of himself.
Now I know how people feel when I make weird analogies sometimes. Like, you got to think for a second. I like that one. All right. That was my last bit of sharing for the evening. Thank you all once again. The Rad Movement, Human Narrative, Rad Inc., Rad Paranormal, Silver Slate Visuals, The Way Through Workshop. Because you guys basically sponsor this event too. Because it's weird, sponsoring the event just means that you help us make it happen by showing up and participating in whatever way. So thank you all for what you bring to this. Thank you, Chad. Man, my gratitude for you is fucking large and great. And you definitely push me in ways that not everyone knows how to. So thanks for always pushing me towards not canceling this, because I'm the one that always wants to end it, apparently.
I just let you work through it until you figure out.
I don't think you've wanted to do that for a long time.
Oh, he wanted to do it last time.
Yeah,
Oh,
last
not
time.
last time. Yeah, last time.
Last time I
Really?
think it was. Yeah.
I just let him work through it.
Yeah. That's the good thing about not saying a whole lot. You don't say a whole bunch of shit you got to go back on. Good on you, Chad. Thank you all. Have a great evening. Namaste means? That's a really good closing. Like, namaste, motherfuckers. That's dope. What is it? Like, you know, like the beauty, the good in me, like, acknowledges the good in you. Like, that's what it means, right?
The sacred in me acknowledges the sacred in me.
That's a fucking great thing. I didn't like the word namaste because so many people fucking used it and probably didn't even know what the fuck it meant. So I was like, fuck that word, you all weirdos. You're not even living by namaste. Well, Doesn't take much to live by.
I was just sitting here thinking it, so thank you.
Hey, all right, thank you for sending it to me because I fucking think that word's great. So namaste, everyone. Namaste. We're off.